Have you ever heard of a machine that helped win a war? Not a tank, not a plane, but a machine that thinks. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible true story behind the film The Imitation Game, a tale of genius, secrecy, and the immense pressure to crack a code that seemed unbreakable. This isn't just a movie review. It's a journey back to World War II, into the mind of a man who changed the course of history, Alan Turing. Imagine this. It's the darkest days of World War II. The German forces have a terrifying advantage, a communications device called the Enigma machine. Every day, at midnight, it scrambles all their secret messages, from U-boat attack plans to troop movements, using a new, astronomically complex key. For the Allies, it's like trying to find one specific grain of sand on all the beaches in the world. The Enigma code was considered absolutely unbreakable. The daily settings offered 159 quintillion possibilities. That's 159 followed by 18 zeros. A team of code breakers could work for 20 million years and not try every combination, and every 24 hours, it all reset. The stakes couldn't be higher. With every tick of the clock, ships were sunk, cities were bombed, and countless lives were lost. The Allies were fighting blind. Enter Bletchley Park, a secret estate outside London that became the nerve center for Britain's brightest minds. Linguists, chess champions, mathematicians. They were all recruited for a task that seemed impossible to defeat Enigma. The film beautifully captures the tense, almost claustrophobic atmosphere of this place. It was a pressure cooker of intellect and anxiety, where every second mattered. The weight of the world was truly on their shoulders. And at the center of it all was a man who was as brilliant as he was eccentric. Alan Turing, portrayed masterfully by Benedict Cumberbatch. Turing wasn't your typical war hero. He was socially awkward, brutally honest, and preferred the company of machines to people. He saw the problem differently than everyone else. While his colleagues were trying to decrypt the messages one by one, manually, Turing had a radical, almost heretical idea. He didn't want to beat the machine. He wanted to build a machine to beat the machine. This was the birth of what would eventually become the modern computer. Turing envisioned a universal machine that could imitate any other machine's logic. He proposed building an electromechanical device that could run through the millions of Enigma permutations at a speed no human team could ever match. His colleagues, and especially his commanding officer, Commander Denestin, thought he was insane. They saw it as a colossal waste of time and resources, when lives were on the line every single day. The film does a fantastic job showing this conflict. The clash between traditional methods and revolutionary, forward-thinking science. Turing's struggle for funding and support is a central theme. He believed, with absolute certainty, that his machine was the only way. To build his machine, which he affectionately named Christopher, Turing needed a team, but he didn't want just any cryptographers. He published a cryptic crossword in the newspaper, a test to find minds that could think like him outside the box. This is how he recruits Joan Clark, brilliantly played by Keira Knightley. Clark was a mathematical prodigy, every bit Turing's intellectual equal, but she faced her own set of obstacles. In the 1940s, it was almost unheard of for a woman to be in such a high-level intelligence role. She had to fight against sexism and societal expectations just to be in the room, let alone contribute. The relationship between Alan and Joan is the heart of the film. She understood him in a way no one else could. She saw past his abrasive exterior and recognized the genius and the vulnerability underneath. She became his confidant, his partner in the project, and, in a complex and poignant twist, his fiancé. Theirs was a partnership of minds, a deep intellectual connection that transcended conventional romance. Joan's support was crucial, not just for the project, but for keeping Turing himself from breaking under the immense pressure. As months, and then years, dragged on, the machine, nicknamed Christopher, took shape. It was a massive, clattering contraption of wires, rotors, and relays. A mechanical brain, but it was too slow. Even with its processing power, it still couldn't check all 159 quintillion settings in 24 hours. The team was on the verge of failure. The government was ready to pull the plug, and the war effort grew more desperate. The tension is palpable. You can feel their hope draining away with each failed attempt. and then comes the breakthrough. It's a moment of pure cinematic magic, born from a casual conversation in a pub. One of the female clerks mentions that a German radio operator always starts his messages with the same 5 letters. CILY, the name of his girlfriend. This is dismissed as trivial, but then another team member points out that every single German message, no matter the content, also includes the weather report. Heil Hitler. This was the crib, the predictable piece of text they needed. Turing realizes they don't have to test every random possibility. They can program the machine to look for known words, like whether a Heil Hitler, within the encrypted text. By targeting these predictable phrases, they dramatically reduced the number of possibilities the machine had to check each day. It was the key they had been missing. In a heart-pounding sequence, they recalibrate the machine. It whirs to life, and then it stops. For a moment, they think it's failed again. But then, the printer starts typing. It's a decrypted message. They've done it. They've broken Enigma. But this incredible victory came with a terrible new burden. They couldn't just stop every attack. If the Germans realized Enigma had been broken, they would simply change the system, and the advantage would be lost forever. So, Turing and his team had to make impossible choices. They had to decide which information to act on and which attacks to allow to happen. To maintain the illusion that Enigma was still secure, they had to perform a horrifying statistical calculus, deciding which convoys to save and which to sacrifice, which cities would be spared and which would be bombed. Imagine having that power, that knowledge. It was a secret they had to carry, a moral weight that is almost unimaginable. Historians estimate that breaking Enigma shortened the war by at least 2 years and saved over 14 million lives. But for the codebreakers at Bletchley Park, the victory was silent and unseen. After the war, their work was classified at the highest level. All the records were burned, the machines were dismantled, and the team was forced to swear an oath of secrecy, never to speak of what they had done. They couldn't even tell their families. Alan Turing, the man who was arguably one of the greatest heroes of the war, faded back into obscurity. And this is where the story turns truly tragic. In 1952, Turing was arrested for a gross indecency because he was gay. Homosexuality was a crime in Britain at the time. He was given a horrific choice: prison or chemical castration through hormone treatment. He chose the treatment to be able to continue his work. But the effects were devastating, both physically and psychologically. 2 years later, in 1954, Alan Turing was found dead. The official verdict was suicide. He was only 41 years old. The man who had built a machine to save millions was destroyed by the very society he had saved, for the simple fact of who he was. His story was buried for decades under the Official Secrets Act. It wasn't until the 1970s that the truth about Bletchley Park began to emerge, and not until the 21st century that Turing received the recognition he deserved. In 2009, the British Prime Minister issued a public apology for his appalling treatment, and in 2013, he was granted a posthumous royal pardon. The Imitation Game is more than just a war movie or a biopic. It's a powerful story about what it means to be different. It's a celebration of the unconventional mind and a tragic reminder of the devastating cost of prejudice. It asks us a profound question. Sometimes it is the people no one imagines anything of who do the things that no one can imagine. Alan Turing's legacy is everywhere today. Every time you use a smartphone, a laptop, or a computer, you are touching a piece of his genius. He is, without question, the father of modern computing and artificial intelligence. His story is one of ultimate triumph and profound tragedy, a testament to a brilliant mind that saw the future and paid the ultimate price for it. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as moving and important as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. Let me know in the comments what you thought of The Imitation Game. See you in the next video.